on the Ready Set Radio podcast.
Number 2, the human centipede.
I will not talk about no.
Come on now.
No,
that shit is just that's all that needs to be mentioned.
That's a waste of film
on a completely different level.
Right. And then number 3 is an entire genre, and it has been my favorite thing for most of my life, and that's zombies.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
God, I love it.
Real quick, you guys get in the comments. You guys let us know what your favorite movies are.
Tell us
your
what it
favorite
is.
horror movies.
Tell us what it is.
Especially around Halloween. Tell us what you like to watch during Halloween.
Ladies and gentlemen, get ready.
Allegedly, when I was his age, I had a guitar.
Welcome, ghouls and goblins. It's time for the Ready Set Radio Halloween Edition podcast.
Happy Halloween once again.
Halloween.
This is your favorite show, the Ready Set Radio podcast. I am Floaty, and with me as always is
The Beard.
Handling the buttons over by the computer. That's J Dubs, the Violent.
Dizzle.
And our guest today is Senor David. That's a really bad introduction, Mr. David. How's it going?
Cool.
This is going to be a really great interview for us because Beard and I have not met you before. We did not talk before this episode.
This is going to be completely off the cuff. I don't want to say that it wasn't because we did prepare, but we deliberately went out of our way to come into this blind so that we could have a different experience.
It's cool because, to be honest, and I told you before, I've listened to one other podcast, brother. So right. I've watched your guys, and I'm like, okay, this could be pretty cool.
Yeah, we just sit around and have a conversation.
Have fun, yeah. Laugh as much as possible.
Yeah, it's a cool thing because my age, you say, okay, one more thing I can check off and go, did you do that?
I did a podcast.
I think it's worth doing at least once.
Yep. But appreciate you having me.
Yeah.
Oh, what are you doing? Oh, it's so good to hear from you. When are you coming to see me? Oh my God, you have no idea. Today has just been the craziest day. I'm never gonna believe what happened. Oh crap, hold on. Anyway. So much to tell you, girl. Oh my God. Oh, you're not gonna believe me. Oh. Hello? Hello? Oh, that's weird. Must have a signal. Anyway, oh, what a crazy day, man. Hello? Who is this? Hello? What is that? Oh my God. What is that? Oh my God. What's that?
So, now you've known J-Dubs for a while, right?
Yeah, I'm thinking 2009, maybe
That's a
2008.
hot minute, you guys. Dang.
Nice.
Yeah.
Right on.
The very first day I showed up, he was there. That was your first year as training.
Nice.
Yeah,
Yep.
Yeah, I think it was your probably second year at the Woods. So yeah,
Yep.
we've known it goes back a ways.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
Is
yeah.
that longer than we've known each other?
No.
Not quite. Not quite.
No. We met December 15th,
He knows the day.
2007. It was just the only reason I know that day was because it was a show that we played and promoted, and I remember that flyer, and that's the only reason.
That's a long friendship, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
It has been.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited about this conversation. Like, we know some general topics, but like we don't know much
Yeah.
about you. But I did hear that you were really into festivals. Is that legit information? Is my source accurate?
Yeah, we God, our first one. The first one was the second time that Carolina Rebellion was here.
Right.
Danny Wimmer putting that show on, and we went every year after that up until COVID.
Oh, that means
And
you
when
got to
COVID
see-
hit, it just
Decimated the whole.
we
Yeah.
crawled in. Me and my wife crawled into a COVID hole, y'all. I'll be honest with you.
Don't blame you.
We still do a lot of shows, but the festivals went from 2-day to 3-day, and we always got every day of the festival.
Right.
But then when it went to 4-day, I was like, I'm sorry,
That's a lot.
my ass is too old to
Yeah.
do
That's a lot
4
of
days.
festivaling to be doing, packing into 4
yeah.
days.
I was too old for festivals at 30. Like, I loved them for about 10 years, and then I was just like, this is not worth it anymore.
We've done a bunch of different kind, but the last one we did is the reincarnation of Rebellion down at Rockingham, and they call it. Me and my wife both love music,
Right.
And
Nice.
And the festival scene can be what you want it to be.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, if you want to get in the pit and just go crazy, go for
Yeah.
it. But
You looking to get
at
punched in the
my
face
age,
at 10
then-
o'clock in the morning?
Right.
Yeah, it's your
you know,
spot
we
right there.
we started doing festivals hard like after I turned 50.
Oh, wow.
Which is strange, you know. The
That's
older,
crazy.
I mean, honestly, I've known him and he knows how I am. But the older I got, it was just, okay, this is an opportunity that presented itself, and let's do it. And we enjoyed it.
I love it. That's fantastic.
But you just pace yourself.
Yeah.
Have fun.
Yeah.
Do your thing.
Pace yourself. That's the important part. Don't go too hard, too fast.
yeah, I think
Strain yourself.
spending a lot of time of your life in general, large quantities at live music, concerts, performances, rehearsals, and stuff. It's seen a lot of bands, you
Yeah.
know, seen a lot of good shows. You went to Rebellion every year, so you got to see the when Head reunited with Korn.
Oh, yeah. We were
Yeah.
there, and I remember the moment, honestly, guys. I remember the exact moment when he came out, and I kind of turned my head, and do you remember Devin?
Yeah.
Doug? Devin was with us, and I looked at him, and he was just a metal. He was all into heavy music, and I said, "Is that?" And he went, and it was like a.
He was like, "Shh."
Yeah, he did. I mean, he shushed me. You know,
I would have too. I definitely would have.
Yeah.
but yeah,
It's happening.
but
That's a big moment.
I can remember that absolute moment.
That's fantastic.
Pretty cool.
But then I can remember Limp Bizkit was the next night, and thinking I will never see shit like this again in my life because I'd never seen Limp Bizkit and I'd never seen the crowd, and we got up fairly close, and it was insane. A blast.
It's a lot of bodies moving.
Yeah,
Hell
real
yeah,
fast.
it was.
No doubt.
Yeah.
No doubt at all.
But yeah, festivals are cool.
Is there a favorite concert you've been to? Like a
Recently, we saw Tool last year in Raleigh and was really, really close to the stage. I mean, my wife hooked us up on some really good tickets,
damn.
and Tool was it's you're either a Tool fan
I
or
told-
you're not.
I told my wife, I was like, if Tool ever goes to the Sphere, we're putting the house up. I'm going.
I don't even know if I could handle it in the Sphere, because
Oh, my God.
my wife actually looked at me at one point in the because we've seen them twice in the last 3 years, and the
so jealous.
second time I kind of was off in my own little world, man, because she grabbed me and she said, "Good." I said, "Oh, yeah.
Stop bothering me, woman. I'm trying to watch the show.
I'm really good."
Are you having a good time?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can only imagine, dude. I'm super jealous. I've never gotten to see them, and they're one of my favorite bands of all time.
And you don't see him. It's not a big stage show. We saw Disturbed. We saw Disturbed last year and was second row. I could have slapped hands with Dave Draymond.
You could feel the heat from the
Oh,
row.
hell yeah. And it was exciting and everything, but Tool just takes you to a completely different place in a live show.
Yeah.
There were
bet
songs that
so.
there were songs I was jamming to, guys. I mean, just seriously into, and realized at the end of the song, I had never heard that song before. They this second time we saw them, they went and pulled some deep
Awesome.
stuff out.
That's
And it was cool though, because it was good Tool.
Tool's just
So,
good.
Yeah.
Not one of my bucket list bands, but I love seeing
How
bucket
dare
list
you.
bands. They're just not.
How dare you?
I saw them a long time ago, and I couldn't
You
see
were my
them.
friend, Anakin.
I love Tool. I love Tool. I'm not going to go see them again. I saw them once a long time ago. I couldn't see any of them. It sounded
No,
great.
you don't see.
But it was man.
It's
was,
not a stage show.
It was the
Not-
same when I saw Nine Inch Nails.
Yeah, that's
I saw
not
Nine
the- yeah, that's
Nine
not
Inch
the
Nails,
point.
and they were behind a scrim, and I was like, man, I came to see the band. Like, it was still awesome, but bucket list bands are great. Like when you get to knock a few off the list.
Oh yeah.
Seeing Paul McCartney was one that was a big.
Oh, did you? Cool,
Yeah.
cool.
Do y'all have any bucket list bands?
Still?
Yeah.
Tool. Hello, I'm pretty sure I made that clear.
Okay.
Yeah, man. I've never seen the Foo Fighters.
Yeah,
That would
And
be
I really
cool.
want to see
I've
the
never
Foo
seen the
Fighters.
Foo Fighters. That'd
We
be
saw
amazing.
we saw them at Rebellion, or it wasn't Rebellion, whatever it was when it was in Rockingham,
What was it?
and it was a long ass show. We've seen them twice. It's a great show.
I have a new bucket list band. I want to see Sleep Token. I haven't
They
seen them.
are awesome.
I missed them. They came to town the Wednesday. I found out about them as a band and fell in love with them. And I was like, I can't go. It's in 2 days. I don't have any money. And it's
I
sold
saw 'em.
out.
Yeah.
I saw them at the festival that will not be named.
Yeah, the one that
Yeah.
sold a tour.
Yeah, the other,
Unbelievable band. And another good one was Knocked Loose. Knocked Loose was really good.
Man, that's a pit. That's a
Yeah,
pit
dude,
to
that
a
was
party,
some
too.
energy. That was just raw energy. But my bucket list band now is Evergrey. I want to see Evergrey. Yeah.
ours is coming up in May. I'd never seen Metallica. As many shows as I've seen.
That's
I got some buddies going to that.
Yeah.
Saw him on the Snake Pit tour.
I've never got a chance. I mean, I could have seen them, but just the time and what. And my wife said, "Pull the trigger." That's truly a bucket list.
It's
concert
great to be
for
with
both
somebody
of us.
that understands the importance of that kind
Yeah,
of stuff
yeah,
because
yeah.
it is a lot of money to spend.
It was.
on a concert.
I'll admit that. right now.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, it was.
But my number one bucket list at the moment, which was not on my list because it wasn't a possibility, is Oasis. Oasis got back
Yeah,
together,
yeah, yeah.
and I really want to go see them.
And
but
they keep
as of now,
adding-
there's only like 7 North American tours, and the closest they're coming is like DC.
Yeah.
And you
No,
never
no,
know
no,
what you're going to
Middlelands.
get. They could get on the road and start fighting, and then that's that because they'll just stop.
Yeah, that's
they
why
just
I
they
don't
don't
wanna get my
care.
tickets, but like I would really love to see Oasis. That's a
That would be an amazing show.
Yeah, I got into them as right before, like I liked them when they first came out, but I didn't get into them
See,
as a fan until right as they were breaking up.
Yep.
And so I spent 15 years going through their catalog and falling in love with this band, wishing they'd get back together, but
And
knowing it
their
wasn't gonna happen.
shows, but I heard their shows are going. I mean, as soon as
Yeah, they sold
You
out.
can't
soon as
even
they go
relate
on-
that fast, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they
just
sell out so
gone.
fast,
Yeah.
and like I know I'm not gonna be able to go see them, but
Yeah.
maybe.
Yeah. You even think about putting a new date on there, and it's already sold
Yeah.
out.
Yep, they keep adding dates to cities because it sells out so fast. But man, it's also expensive. But like,
see that I'm glad you said. I was getting ready to say that.
it's not
'cause
as expensive as
last year. Me and my wife probably did 12 shows last. I mean, we lost our mind last year.
Nice.
COVID was over. We finally crawled out of our freaking COVID hole and said, let's go to concerts. And we'd saved all this money, and we saw a ton of shows. This year, though, the prices, dude, are just...
It's ridiculous.
We saw great shows last year. I wasn't going to pay some of the money that the shows that I wanted to see, but nah.
Well, you got to think about it. Of course, there's inflation, and on top of the inflation, nobody buys CDs anymore. And yeah, there's a lot of people that like the nostalgia of buying vinyl and stuff like that. But past that,
Hey, J-Dubs, hot damn, let's do it. He was doing it. I wanted to just jump in there with that. I didn't mean to. Bakery! Nice. I really love that we got him that soundboard, dude.
We love it now. Let's give it 3 months.
So-
Yeah, with great power comes great responsibility,
Yeah.
J-Dubs.
I'll use it wisely. But yeah, they have to make up for that revenue somewhere. So that's why you're seeing the ticket prices and the $65 T-shirts. And I mean,
Yeah.
and now there's this big bickering between the tips, who the tips go to. The bands are
Yep.
saying that,
Yeah,
that
the
they go.
business of that industry is so hard as it is, man. It's the only way to make the money is to do something where the customer's going to be like, "What are you doing, man?"
Mm-hmm.
You know, like it's the only way to go forward anymore these days.
Well, everybody wants to get paid.
Yeah, well, yeah, and I get it. I want to get paid too, but
Well, that's unreasonable.
it is. It seems to be, at least. There's no money. There's no money anywhere.
Yeah, that's why I'm a firm believer of check the bands out on their way up, man.
There it is.
Yeah,
Yep.
Check them
that's
out
the
on their
only
way up.
It's the only way.
And see, and a lot of people don't know, like, even when it comes to the merch, there's price matching. There's a band that's up and coming that no one really knows on a bill with a big touring band. They've got a price match to the big touring bands. So the big touring bands don't lose out on the money because people will be like, well, because everyone has
Yeah,
great
'cause you could
graphics
get a
now.
cheaper ticket from a lesser band on the bill, and
Exactly. But so like if the opening or if the opening bands are like, well, we want to sell our shirts for $35. Y'all are selling y'all's for $45. Well, of course, people are going to buy the cheaper shirts just because they want the cool graphics.
yeah,
For sure.
business.
And that's why bands that also have like 20 or 30 designs, man. Like,
Yep.
So everybody will buy something.
Yep.
I'm a firm believer. One customer or fan, whatever you want to call them, will buy one T-shirt one time.
Mm-hmm.
After that, what do you got? What do you got to sell them?
Koozies.
Yeah, so you have to keep a plethora.
Stock of shirts you've got to sell.
My
nobody
problem
to sell
is-
them to.
Speaking of selling shirts,
like
let's
it.
cut to this commercial right here.
Yeah, buy something.
Hi, I'm the Beard,
And I'm floating.
and
We suck at these.
yeah, hi, I'm the Beard,
And I'm floating.
and we're here to sell you some stuff.
You like merch? We got merch.
We got merch, coffee mugs.
Mug.
You should buy one of these.
Let's try that again.
Hi, I'm the Beard.
And I'm floating. Sorry, you know what? We have merchandise that we want to sell you. Hit 'em, Beard.
Mugs. Hot coffee. Hi, I'm the Beard.
And I'm that other dude.
Hi, he's Floaty.
And that's the Beard. Buy our
Mugs. Hot coffee. Hi, I'm the Beard. And that was mugs. Hot coffee. Do you drink out of cups?
hot cups.
Do you drink out of cups?
Do you wear shirts?
Comfortable shirt.
Because we got merch.
Get it at the under the Ready Set Radio.
Hot coffee.
Do you like shirts?
Do you like cups?
Do you like cups?
Do you like shirt from Ready Set Radio? Radio.
Dude, we also have flip-flops and hoodies. We have hats and stickers.
Comfortable shirt. ReadySetRadio.com.
ReadySetRadio.com. Click on the shop tab.
Click on the shop tab.
Why am I pointing up?
Hot coffee.
You have a flag.
Yeah. Go check it out.
Man, they didn't like that commercial, Beard. They're turning on us, dude.
It's just because it got overplayed, man. That's why we need new ones.
I'm not even sure what commercial we actually played, but the one we watched is the old one. Hot coffee. So let's get back all the way back to where you met J-Dubs. You met him at Woods of Terror.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
And you got involved heavily, yes?
Yeah.
Can you tell us about your experiences there? Are you allowed to?
Well, yeah.
Are you allowed to?
You guys didn't have to sign an NDA when you went down at the end of the season.
It's expired now.
It's all real, man. It's all real.
It's expired.
Yeah. God.
Where to start?
People just real quick. The people I were working with, they wanted to go to a haunt. I said, okay, let me call this Woods of Terror, because I'd heard about it. I'd been to Spooky Woods, and it was cool, but this was closer to where we were working at. So the girl that answered, I knew her from work. So the day that I showed up, they had already been doing training, and I mean, they'd been going for a long time. I was just checking to see about going during the haunt season. They said, oh, you need to come out, you'll have fun, see what's going on. So I went home and I asked my wife, first off, I said, I kind of got asked to act at this Woods of Terror thing. And she was like, you want to do it? And I was like, yeah. And I said, but it's every Friday and Saturday night for like the next 6 weeks.
Wow.
And she said, cool, go for it.
Nice.
So the first day I showed up, and I'm gonna embarrass him here.
Oh,
Please do.
Can I
Lord.
do that?
That is our
I
favorite
wanna
subject.
know.
He
I
didn't
wanna
think he's not gonna think, because it's been a few years and brain cells and stuff, and so he's not gonna think I remember this. So anyway, I show up very first day at Woods of Terror, and I'm like, hey everybody, and I thought, oh God, I'm so old, because I'm looking around and everybody's like 18, 19, 20 years
Yeah.
old. And I was 50. So anyway, they said, okay, we're breaking you guys into these groups, and you're going to go to these different houses down in the woods, and there's going to be an instructor there, and you're going to audition for them. And I was like, I don't even know what the hell you mean, but let's do this. So we go down. The very first place I went to, he was at what was the vampire house. They called it the Blood House.
That makes sense.
And
Doesn't it?
he's sitting back.
Y'all.
He's on this chair on the front porch, and he's just chilling, and he's got his guitar, and he's sitting there jamming. And I was like, who is this? I don't want to say it.
You can.
No, go right ahead.
Son of a bitch.
Go right ahead.
That mother.
This guy.
Who is this mother? So he got up and he started talking, and I was like, okay, this is cool. This guy's pretty cool. So they were like, oh, dude, it's cool. We have fun here. And they did. That first year, man, I had a blast, because all I did was act. That was it. So much fun.
What role were you doing?
I wound up being the sheriff for Texas.
Go ahead and break that out.
Chainsaw.
Nice.
I got
Yeah,
a
go ahead and break it
I
out.
actually brought a picture. Hold on.
Hand it to him,
sweet.
J-Dubs. Hand it to him.
My wife said that I should bring this and show it to Judge Lee.
Yeah, we'll make sure everybody can see it. Let's take a look.
Sorry, I didn't get to that fast enough.
You're good.
Not that I would show.
Shout out to High Point
High Point
University.
University.
We'll blur that out later.
My wife will. I'll tell you right now, she will not go through a haunted house.
Okay.
Will not. Absolutely not. But she loves that I love to do this shit.
Oh, that is cool. This is from year one?
That is year one right
dude.
there.
Heck yeah.
We'll take pictures and plug that.
Yeah, we'll put it
Right in
we'll
here.
Put it in here for you guys to look at it.
Yeah.
This, J-Dubs.
Well,
So what?
Nope.
What that was? It was.
there it is. Damn, that's cool. There it is.
Side by side, right there. Look at that. How about it?
Let's get that face.
Very cool.
That looks nothing like me.
It just went from there. The first year was just a blast, just acting. And then Eddie McLaurin, who's the owner of Woods, he asked me, he said, look, come back next year, but I want you to help me in the trail and do training. and then it just evolved from there.
Nice.
So, yeah.
Very cool.
I just got a little old for it.
feel you.
It's a young, I mean, honestly, guys, it's a young man's game.
Yeah.
And Eddie, that's Eddie's life is the woods.
Yep.
You know, some people that run haunts have their haunt and then their job. You know,
Right.
that's
That is his
Eddie's.
life,
That's
his whole
everything.
deal,
Yeah,
yeah.
24/7
Yeah.
every day. As soon as he wakes up, that's what he's doing.
Yeah.
I got to give it to him, man.
Oh,
That's why it's so
it's
awesome.
admirable.
Jesus. From the first time that we were there, my first year that I was there, and I went last year through, and it's a great show.
I haven't even gone there for the haunt in like 9 years.
Well,
But I'd love to
not,
work.
You would know. You would not recognize it.
That's what everyone says. I've been there off season. I've done like some photography there and some video shoots and
Have you?
stuff there.
Yeah.
Yeah, we actually did.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
We shot a music video there too in our last band.
Yeah, we shot a music video there
Shot a
back
lot of
in,
stuff there.
in the Vampire House. Yeah.
Yep. So I'm very familiar with it. But I did go through the hunt a long time ago, and I wanted to go this year. Just I don't think there's not enough time. There's just so much
And
stuff that we're
tickets.
always doing.
And yeah, I'm glad you brought it up about it because haunts, there are phases of haunts where they're at. You know, you've got church haunts, and you've got this is a good haunt that comes around every year, and then you got Spooky Woods and Woods of Terror and things like that.
Yeah.
Eddie's taken it to the next level, which is like there's a place called Netherworld down near Atlanta. Fantastic haunt, world class. I mean, everything. And that's where Eddie's trying to take the woods.
Yeah,
and
Woods of
and
Terror.
he's close. I mean,
They're getting to elite.
Yeah, yeah. It is an elite haunt. I
agree.
I would say, but Tony out at Spooky Woods, also. I mean, it's
good.
It's a rarity that you see in North Carolina. If you go up to Ohio and Pennsylvania, there's a lot of really good haunts that are just right on top of each other.
And up north, there's a lot more neighborhood haunts.
Yeah.
Where people do it in their neighborhoods. And I've never seen one in person.
I just pushed the button. What do I know?
So how long were you working at Woods of Terror? How many years was that?
Good Lord. On and off for like 8 years. Because we moved, and I just couldn't put the time in.
Did you get to do some acting every year?
No. Halloween night. Eddie would kind of take the reins off of me on Halloween night.
Oh, nice.
Because I was a bad guy, wasn't I, Jason?
Yes.
I was. I had to be the bad guy. Because haunt actors some of them are pretty wide open.
Yeah.
That's what I was telling these guys. They come from.
I ran into some of the most interesting characters because my job was to teach the actors. It's actor coordinator is what it's called.
Right.
So I had contact just face to face with all the actors. Some of them you had to really just. They were special, weren't they, Jason?
So I have
We
a.
loved them to death,
Yeah.
but
They sound like my kind of people.
Yeah.
and it's cool because they usually turned out to be some of the better haunters. It was just, it was a good place. If for as many faults as me and Eddie could go back with each other, because he had a good place for some kids that didn't quite fit into the mold that everybody thought they should.
Right.
Yep.
Kind of leave it there. And he was accepting of that.
We're familiar with that walk of life, man.
We
Yeah,
are indeed.
yeah. So
Those same people hung out at Somewhere Tavern.
something.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, it was honestly a bunch of the kids that acted out there hung out at Somewhere Else Tavern
Yeah, yeah.
also. Yeah. A whole bunch because I got invited out there a couple of times. I was like, all right, guys, love y'all, but
The two places you knew you were welcome, no matter what you were
Yep.
or who you were.
yeah. What was that guy's? The guy that owned it.
Burley Hayes.
Burley Hayes.
I saw he just
Rest in
passed
peace
away
again.
not long ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was
It's
like
Burley.
Yeah, to Burley.
Yeah, Burley was like a dad.
And
to
you
me.
guys make sure you stay tuned because we have some more of that coming later as far as Burley and the Somewhere Else Tavern. So stick around. Make sure
Just
you
tell 'em
like.
we're working on a tribute.
Yeah.
All right, yeah, we're
Yeah.
working on a tribute to the
Should be
Somewhere
coming
Else
sometime
Tavern.
in November.
So make sure you like, share, subscribe, hit the little bell to make sure you're notified that we're doing something stupid on the internet.
And if you or anybody you know has a great story about Somewhere Else Tavern, hit us up in the comments or shoot us an email or something. Go to ReadySetRadio.com, find us.
Yeah, please let us know. We want to
let us know stories about Burley and Tavern. And
we want to hear your stories.
So, with that being said, I want to bring up something with David because
Careful.
I heard working in the. All right, so you got to understand, like when you go to your facade or your area, that's like your town. So everybody has their own attractions, and the people in those attractions are like the little villagers of that town. So we would hear stories from other towns, right? So that makes sense.
They were like their own. That's a good way to put it.
And the best stories came from the cornfield. And if I remember correctly, David, you were in a few scuffles in the cornfield, or what we used to call the ghetto.
Is that what y'all called it?
Oh yeah, man, that was the hood all day long.
Yeah, the cornfield. Now this is the first year that I was this actor coordinator thing. Well, the guys that worked in the cornfield were pretty beefy guys. I mean, they had some size to them.
Would one call them corn fed?
Very good. Yes. Yeah. Good.
Thank you. I had to get it out of my system.
But I heard on the radio that one of the guys, and he said there's a disturbance in the cornfield. And by the time I got there, and that was Big D again, this big kid, I mean, that was working for the Woods, him, and I can't remember the other dude's name.
With the dreads?
No, the dude, real country, I can't remember. Good dude. I mean, this guy was just a good soul kind of person. Phil.
Good old Bob.
Well, Phil had a temper that went immediate.
Right.
I mean, and his temper had already been immediate before I ever got there. He come through my ass going after a customer that was going after another actor. Right. And it just went downhill so fast. But that's one example at the Woods. The people, I went last year. I don't act. I don't have anything to do with the Woods anymore. Right. People that come through the haunts can be real jerks, man.
Yeah,
Dubs was telling us.
Yes.
Yeah, I was letting them know the deal with that.
Yeah.
The cornfield was
being that scared is a vulnerable place to be, man.
Or that intoxicated.
And the cornfield was such a wide open area, and people stomped the corn down.
Oh, jerks.
It was muddy as hell. And the people you had to put in there to kind of corral the people, you had to have some bigger people in there. It wasn't for a meek, quiet actor. They got romped on in there. But Eddie realized it after a couple of years. It just wasn't worth the trouble of trying to grow a cornfield, because you have to grow it every year.
Yep, he literally grew the corn every year out there.
I mean, you had to grow that corn every year, so it was labor intensive as hell.
That's kind of wild.
I remember years that we weren't able to even open that attraction because it was
Didn't have enough corn,
or it rained so much that that it was just it was you couldn't go through it.
Yeah, I can see weather being a detriment. I went to a corn maze a couple times, and not during the rain, but I went one time right after. They should have said something at the gate, like, "Hey, just so you know, it's disgusting."
Ankle deep out there.
There could be quicksand.
Go enter at your own risk.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that to be funny because it's a haunt. Like, watch yourself out there.
Do you like those shoes? You might not want to come in then.
Yeah.
And I've been to haunts that way. I've gone to. There was a place down near Statesville, and it was a really cool haunt, and it was an outdoor trail type haunt.
Nice.
But half the time, a quarter of it wasn't open because if it rained hard, the bottom fields, they just filled up with water. And the guy's like, sorry.
Yeah, it sucks.
It is what it is, man. You can't
you do an outdoor hunt.
Yeah,
you
you
got to
can't
deal
fight
with
against Mother Nature, dude. She'll whoop your ass every time.
Yeah. And that's what you see a lot of haunts. Like Eddie, the woods again. He's tried to cover up as what he can, but still keep that woods idea.
Right.
Yeah.
But a lot of the haunts I've been to, a lot of just really huge killer haunts are inside now.
Yeah, man. A lot of the scariest stuff that happens in the woods in movies happens inside of stuff.
It's
like cabins.
it's a controlled environment. It's a lot more. It's a lot easier to pull off whatever you're trying to pull off without, ankle deep mud and actual corn getting.
I used to seek out pop-up hunts that were in houses, like old houses and stuff. I loved that. It just added this whole element because the house itself was also creepy.
Yeah.
You know? And they were able to pop up into something and pop in and out and not have to do stuff. But the worst I've ever been scared has been like a middle school. Like I went to a middle school haunt, and like those kids are vicious.
Oh
man.
yeah, they
They're so
kids
vicious.
freak me out. I've been I've been to haunts all over the East Coast. There's a haunt. Can I say another haunt?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a place.
No one's paying us.
There's
dude.
a,
You can say
place,
whatever you
there's
want.
a place. A girl that we know runs a haunt in Pufftown. That's called
Yes.
Wicked Whimsies.
Wicked Whimsies.
Not a huge haunt like a Woods of Terror or a Spooky Woods kind of haunt.
It's geared more to
She's-
kids, I feel.
She's done it. She's done it for probably 8 years now. But you go through it, and it's a good pop-up haunt. Even though her and her husband work on it some year round, but she's a teacher. He works full time.
Right.
They have other lives besides
Yeah.
the haunt. But those haunts are few and far between now.
Yeah.
A good one.
Agreed. I haven't even seen one in a while that just pops up downtown Kernersville or Winston or whatever.
No.
Well, there's so much into it, man. There's such thing as haunters insurance, and that's numbers.
For sure.
That's numbers. That's
and I
money.
imagine, like you've mentioned a couple of times, I imagine COVID killed out a lot of
It
of
did.
that side hustle industry altogether.
Yeah.
Just because you couldn't have that many people in a house at one time.
Hey,
you know?
we just
There's-
discovered one of those unspoken things we lost during COVID. We
Yeah.
lost independent pop-up haunts, man.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
a lot of them. I haven't seen any.
Yeah,
Well,
I haven't
there's-
seen any. We give it enough time afterwards.
I'm
we'll,
hoping.
we'll see some come back.
I hope so.
But
Yeah, it's
But,
an
yeah.
expensive.
Who
Some
knows,
people
maybe-
say things like that are a hobby.
maybe we're
It's a
po-
very expensive hobby.
but maybe we're planting the seed in somebody right now. Hopefully
Yeah.
they're listening.
Yeah, man.
Well, there's 15-year-olds making them in their backyard, so I mean, it's
Yeah, I'd say we're in good hands when it comes to that kind of thing.
Yeah, there's a lot of scary
those who
things.
want to haunt will, and
Yeah.
And just so y'all know, within an hour and 45 minutes, you got about 5 to 7 haunts around here right now that are
There's a ton- There's a
good.
ton of good
Mm-hmm.
haunts around. Yeah, you hear the Spooky Woods and the Woods of Terror, but like there's one just south of here.
Forbidden
It's called-
Forest.
Haunted Pyramids.
Oh, yeah.
It's off a beaten path. I mean, and literally, I mean, to finding it, it's like,
See?
whoa, here it is, way back, spooky ass location, outdoor haunt. But you don't hear much about it. And I went to it 5 or 6 years ago, pre-COVID,
right.
and walked through, and I was like, holy shit, this place was, it was a really, really good haunt.
Thank you, sir.
But not a big fancy high dollar haunt.
Right.
So they're out there.
Yeah, you just had some good old boys out there be like, "Hey, man, we got this field. Let's make a pyramid and haunt it." That's pretty cool.
I don't know. I've seen some good ones, some
Yeah.
real good ones, but
You all
we've
right
got a
over
lot
there?
of
Yeah,
them.
David gave me a good idea for next year, and I don't want to talk about it.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah.
So, David,
Copyright WRSR LLC.
That's why I'm not even saying it.
Is
I
that
wrote
what
it
y'all?
down.
Is that what y'all wanted that blood from earlier?
Yeah.
No,
Yeah, not only the blood, but the thumbprint
Yeah.
itself. Yeah.
we needed the blood for several things, David.
An example. I was walking down. You want a specific thing?
yeah, man. Like
Girl
give us
in-
the goods. Give
girl
us the
in-
goods.
Girl in this house, in the vamp house. Boyfriend in the clown house.
Uh-oh.
Separate attractions.
Oh yeah.
The costumes do not go back and forth, nothing like that. So I'm going through this blood house that night, and I see a bright light, a really brightish light. And I said, what was that? It's not supposed to be in a blood house. It's dark and creepy and all this. So I kind of run up, and there's a clown in there. And I asked him, I said, what are you doing? He said, oh, I had to come get myself from. So these little romances that happen, oh my God.
Gross.
Yeah. No, you are working with the public, people.
Gross.
There's some things you just can't even talk about some of the things that when you got 150 kids of all different types come together and to make it work, it worked out there.
Right.
And I've worked several other homes. Most of them have good people. Like me and my wife lived in Delaware for about a little over a year. Nice. And there was a home up there called Frightland, really killer home right outside of Dover, Delaware. But the owner of it was a big home like Spooky Woods the Terror. He had the same type personality I noticed as some of the other home owners I've met during the time that I
imagine
was
it takes
with.
A special kind of person.
It's to be that into a haunt because it's their life. I mean that's their life, man. And you would think people say, "Oh, this dude, he's a millionaire," and da da da. And I'm like, I've never met a millionaire homeowner, and I've been to a lot of haunts and met a lot of the owners. Everything a good haunt makes, literally, these guys put it back in.
Goes back right.
Because even at some of the local haunts this year, I've been keeping up with some of the reviews, and people were saying, "Oh, it was great. 10 of the 12 attractions are exactly as they were last year." Well, when some of these sets now, the set itself is running
money,
$500,000, $750,000 just to build, this magnificent. You can't do that 12 times over every year. No. They don't make that kind of money. It's an interesting. I saw that part of it for a few years, and that was a very interesting part of the haunt business, is they live from haunt season to haunt season.
That's crazy.
He brings up a point how it's a shame how the consumer is just never happy, dude.
No, no consumer is ever happy.
There it is.
Even one of the number one haunts in America, and you're gonna be like, well, I mean, it was the same as last year. Same people go to Carowinds at Halloween, and it's like, well, it's the same stuff every year. We're like, well, duh.
Yeah, it's
how expensive it is, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Entertainment costs money.
Yeah.
And not just to consume it. It costs money to make. It costs money to build all the stuff that makes it look the way it does, and production value is 10 times worth its weight in gold. You know what I mean?
It costs a lot more than your ticket price.
Yeah.
But the cool thing about it, and I can say it was awful in the nights. Some nights I wouldn't even pull out of the parking lot till 3:00 in the morning, and had a 50-minute drive home. Right. So I'm dragging in at 4:00 in the morning on the weekend, and then going back to work on Monday morning. Man. And it was just tough.
We sleep on Sundays.
That could make or break a haunt.
Details and stuff make the difference.
Dude, the devil is always in the details.
Anybody can hop out and go, rah.
Yeah.
But
woogity woogity.
To say things that are actually creepy and scary and that soul hurting kind of words, I'm not good at it.
And to carry that all night long.
That's
the thing.
Because hundreds of people walking through this place.
You got to think this is you, and we put you as this character, and your character comes out of that door, and you say a line, and you scare them through that door. Well, then you close the door, and about 3 to 5 seconds later, you do it again, and you do that for about 4.5 hours.
This is the beard.
Who wants a cheeseburger? Hot damn, a cheeseburger.
Hot damn,
hot coffee.
Hot damn, let's do it.
But
damn, let's do it.
They do this for about 4.5 hours, and Jason, you can back me up on that. There's times when you're just like, I have nothing else to say,
right?
And but these people have not heard it.
Yeah, they got it.
These people in front of you have not heard it, but you're just struggling trying to keep going.
God damn, let's
And then you get good, and then you get really good at it to where, because at the same time you get the ones that are scared, and then you got the ones that are coming through being an a-hole, and they always have something to say.
Right.
So when you really get good at it, the comebacks are. That's where I get my wit from, guys.
Hey, side story. I just want to tell a story about the best comeback I've ever heard. Okay?
I know this.
Do you? I hope so. I was working as a bouncer at a bar while I was learning how to tattoo, and it was one of the few jobs I actually had that paid me money at the time, and I was struggling money wise real hard. But at this bar, there was a bartender, and I can't remember what her name was, but she was cool. And there was one time, like, I walked in and we were kind of like talking some shit back and forth, and she said something, and I was like, if I wanted an opinion from, if I wanted any shit from you, I'd squeeze your head. And she was like, oh, really? If I wanted a comeback from you, I'd wipe it off your face. And I was like, oh my God. Oh my God. Yeah, dude, I had to walk away.
Ever since you told me that story,
Thanks, J-Dubs.
I have used that so many times.
Have you?
Yeah,
It's good, isn't it? It's so
really
good. If I wanted to come back from you, I'd wipe it off your face. How dare you? I can't believe it, dude. Best one I've ever heard. Anyway, now we can get back to the haunts, because I just had to. You made me think of it, and I had to throw that in there.
They did, yeah.
Next week on this. Next week on the Ready Set Ready.
You always try to put a person. You match the personality with the places in the haunt.
Right, match their energy. Right, yeah.
We had a girl that was in the blood house, and this girl, she had the best comebacks. Any time, any big guy come through, and she's a real cute girl, great costumes, lots of blood, the whole thing, and the guys would always hit on her. They scared the hell out of her. Mm-hmm. I mean, she scared them.
Right.
And the best thing big guys do is when they're ready to piss their pants is that they want to talk shit. Mm-hmm. They do. And she would come back, and I mean a lot of small penis jokes, and and she was not shy about it. But God, that's what made such a good actor right there.
See, that's another reason I'd worry about me going there, because my goal might end up being, I'm going to see if I can get this guy to catch a charge.
I bet I could make him swing on me.
I bet I can make him hit this clown. I'm just a lowly clown here. I bet I can make him hit me.
And you could pick people out in a haunt. Customers going through going, that's going to be trouble. That's going to be trouble. That's going to be trouble.
When you legitimately scare somebody, it does something to you.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you feel it. Like, you're like, oh, wow, there it is.
There's powerful.
It is
powerful.
That's why I loved the first year that I did it. That was the funnest year I had at the Woods. Now, honestly, the other part of it was great. I had great memories, great friends. But that first year, being able to scare people, dude, there's no big. That was a great rush. What a rush.
Yeah, I got to do it.
It is.
I got to do it. I got to do it.
Because you think about it, you're in full costume, and then you walk into these just beautiful done sets. I mean, like movie quality, and you're that person. It hits you. You're like, I'm that now. Like, and then when they start coming, fresh meat, baby. Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go.
And if you get good, then you can push the envelope, but you don't open the envelope, Yeah. Every now and then you had to remind them, guys, keep lick it up.
Especially in the blood house. The blood house was more of an 18 and up. We had to put an age limit on the actors in the blood house because of the sexuality that comes with that lore.
They were beautiful girls in there those couple of years. The first when you were in there that year, I mean, you always put the pretty girls in the blood house.
Right.
And it's not even there anymore.
Nope. Stranger Things now.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, that show ruined a lot.
I love that show. That show was great.
It was great.
It was good.
Thank you for laughing.
Yeah, I'm really into like D&D, and when I play, I get into character, and so like I also like scaring people and being scared. So like, I think I could really be into that. It would ruin our podcast next year. It'd be like,
it would ruin a whole bunch of shit.
we had all these plans this year, but Floaty decided he wanted to go scare the shit out of kids.
Yeah, they probably could, like last year. I went and acted 2 nights last year because he it's called, what do we call it, spare bodies?
Yeah, spare bodies. You come out and you volunteer to see if you like it or
you
not.
don't get paid for it.
No.
They put you in kind of a safer spot, where you're not going to hurt and not mess anything up. And you can act for a night.
See, I think that's where we
Let's
should
do that.
We should do that for like a segment.
I don't know if they still do it or not. We did when I was there, but
Right.
it's been
I think
From what I hear,
we
yeah,
could
they
reach
still do.
out.
For
Yeah,
the size of the
yeah.
production, once you get to a certain size, I imagine you'd have to start having that kind of thing every year, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So, yeah.
Because there's a bunch. He's probably well over 100 actors each night.
Nice.
So
Yeah, I
That's
could
what-
go do that
See-
for the night. Yeah.
I just want to be like a plant in a group.
He,
My
his
job
new.
is to like. Is to be
That's
scared.
funny. That's funny you say that because one of his new attractions out there is called Fungus Among Us.
Oh yeah, I saw that. I saw that.
Are you the fungus among us?
No, I just want to be the person in the group.
Oh, he
that,
definitely
like,
has fungus.
I've seen that done.
true.
Eddie. I've never been involved in a haunt that does that. I've gone through a haunt that does that.
That'd
That
be
has
fun.
we were going through a haunt in Kentucky. God knows the name of it, but the big guy that was beside me, and then there was another, probably built like me,
Right.
guy. But the guy beside me was about 6'4", 6'5". Well, the guy behind us, he came up and he said, "All right, you now," and he grabbed him by the back of his pants and his arm, and he pushed him through a door, a hidden door. And I was like, what the hell was that? Because this guy was in our group
That's awesome.
and had been through like 2 scares with us. So he pushed him through the door and went with him. And I thought, well, that was weird, because it
Did
left
somebody
us.
in our group just get abducted?
Well, that's what it was. Everybody in the
Abducted?
group was like, where'd he go? And I was like, dude, I don't know. I have no
That's
clue.
awesome.
Dope.
I went to a haunted house one time where they got me to scare myself. 'Cause we go into this room and it's a black room, and then out of nowhere these vampires come out of the wall, and so we all turn around to run back out the room. But as the last person got in the room, they slid a mirror in front of the door. So when I turned around,
You're
it's
looking
me scaring the shit out of myself back into everybody else. And then the mirror goes back into the wall, and I run out into the hallway, and like it's a Michael Myers, but he's like laying on the ground, and then I get like 4 foot from him, and he just pops up like like they had him on like a board or something, like lifted him straight up.
Yeah.
We all go back
he
into
was-
the
he was
vampire room.
spring-loaded, yeah.
We all go back in the vampire room, and which was not a good idea either. And then after that haunted house sucked. It was really bad after that. But that 30 seconds or so was awesome. They got me twice. You were telling us a story.
Not other haunts.
Other haunts.
One of the cool, and I wore this to remind
Haunted
me.
Hoochie. For
Haunted-
those of us listening.
It's a place called Haunted Hoochie of Columbus, Ohio.
No relation.
And it's a touch haunt. Very few haunts are touch haunts. They'll get close to you, breathe on you. I mean, a good actor can do it without touching you.
Right.
But this place was a touch haunt, so we go to it and get to see the back scenes and get to see the actors being made up, and then they pull us all away and said, "Okay, you got to stay away for 30 minutes." So we come back, and this merry band of misfits are on. It looks like you're going into a big construction yard.
Okay.
Nice.
Big high fence, strippers in dancing in these cages.
I'm scared.
Two redneck overall wearing with shotguns, blasting them in the air and smoking a fa joint.
Right.
Yeah. But anyway, so all of this is going before you ever go into the haunt. Period.
You're not even in there yet.
You're not even in there, so you're kind of
Sorry.
outside, and it's a touch haunt. And you're like, what's really going to happen in here? So the very first scene I went into, within a 3-minute period, I'd been spanked with a wiffle ball bat, laid on a bed, and had like a 9-volt shock run through me after being seduced to lay in the bed by this is awful, a hot nun.
What's the address?
Yeah, where's this at?
Where's this at?
So,
Ohio, you say?
It's
Road trip.
they're not. Yeah. Oh, it's so. Anyway, you're going through and just the things that they do in some of these touch haunts. Some of the haunts around here talked about it. Oh, let's do one night of it. We'll have a separate area that will be a touch haunt, and we'll charge more money for it. But then when they look at the insurance, well,
Yeah.
what they did, they looked at the insurance, and it was like, oh, you got to be kidding me! You want that much money for us to do this? So there's just very few places. But Haunted Hoochie, recommend if you're ever in Columbus, Ohio.
Yeah, I've seen some of these like waiver haunts where they do like damn near everything.
Y'all mentioned him. I don't want to go there.
Yeah, you can. You definitely can. And because I'm sitting here trying to remember his name.
McCamey.
Yes.
McCamey, man.
Yes. Talk about that.
Well,
yes,
I'm
sir.
I'm gonna leave the name of it out if you don't mind.
That's fine.
I guess there's a really. It's not a fine line. It's a clear line is between a touch haunt like Haunted Hoochie. Great fun, man. Great haunt. Highly recommend it. Or this other haunt that is kind of one of those YouTube. I don't even think they shut it on YouTube because it just was so extreme. But
There's a documentary
people were-
about it.
Yeah.
I think I've seen it.
Look it up. I don't want to say his name,
Yeah,
but
I've
this
seen
guy, I thought when I first heard about it, I thought it was a haunt.
Right.
And then when I finally was able to see some of the videos, it was basically set up in this guy's backyard and garage, and just they tortured people.
Yep.
And there was like these lines, this long waiting list of time. That's not a touch haunt.
Right.
It's a torture chamber.
Torture
Yeah.
chamber.
Yeah.
And there's
not-
people that want it.
Not
There
to
are definitely people that want it.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but not to disclose too much. But you, David, you do have prior law enforcement and military background, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, your take on that is important. I feel.
Yeah, touch haunts are cool if the actors have to be really good at it. And honestly, I've been to 3 touch haunts. Best actors, but a little bit older. They're not 18, 19 years old.
Have that experience, yeah.
So it's, guys, you need to go to haunts. You out there listening to this, go to a haunt this
Go to a
season.
Yeah, go check out Woods of Terror, Spooky Woods, Haunted Hoochie.
Oh man, we got Reaper's Realm, we got Forbidden Forest, we got Booger Woods, one of my favorite. Booger Woods is great. I'm not even joking. Booger Woods is an amazing haunt, man. What else we got? We got Hollywood Horror Show.
Did that man just endorse on our
After the editing process, no, he did not.
No, these are some of our.
He didn't.
Man, these are some of our local haunts, man. You need to go check them out. If you don't know about them, please. Reaper's Realm is amazing.
Lake Hickory haunts.
Lake Hickory haunts is my personal favorite out of all the haunts we have around here. It's about $140 as far as the drive from here, but it's worth it.
Yeah,
it's worth it. I got some footage when we went, and if the guys are nice enough to plug it, you might get to see it.
Put it right here.
Have you given us that footage already?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
Then we'll put it in. All right.
First, David, thank you for coming out.
Yeah,
Yes, thank you so
Guys,
much.
Appreciate it.
This was fun.
This was a
Cool.
great conversation.
This was cool.
Oh man, that is so dope. Dun, 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 dun.
You will get tumbled down this hill.
Oh God.
Oh wow.
I know this one.
Pay attention
Oh my
when you go.
Hey, those are fire.
Hey guys, thanks for checking out that latest video we just dropped. If you're liking what you're seeing, make sure you hit that subscribe button, tap on that bell so you never miss a notification, and shoot us a comment because we love to hear from you.